Okay, so let's go deeper in this property life cycle, or like let's start by choosing a property. So how does this process work? Based on what?
You should consider like buying any product that's produced by a factory. So
Mhm.
I can say that this is a property factory because when you order it, you have to pick and decide what you order. So technically, you just decide within your budget what property you would like to purchase, and you just let us know. Then we make the all necessary arrangements on behind. Then it passed to the next step. Like it
All right.
all comes with the like I think six steps. So
Next steps,
at
yeah.
the end of this cycle, you should know that you have an excellent investment product that, and you don't have to be in the US. This is the best part.
Mhm.
Because after you complete this cycle, you are exactly being invested in the US like you are in the US. Like there is no difference than the American citizens. So
Right, right.
it's performing profit.
Let me also say something. I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong. Even if the client is in the States, the
Yes,
purchasing process is the same. So it does not
absolutely.
matter
There
if
is
you
no
are here in
difference.
Dubai
Yes.
or in Turkey or somewhere else.
No,
It's the
no,
same
no. There is
process.
no difference than buying, like being in the US or being abroad. So, because title companies handles all the title process, and the
Correct.
property management companies, they manage your property. So there is no difference being in the US or being abroad.
And let me add something very important that some people or some clients when they hear that we are in Dubai or in Istanbul or in Miami, they are mixing that we are offering properties in those cities. Like when USD rent is in Dubai, it means you are selling in Dubai, which we are not
No,
doing.
no.
We
We
are
are
just like a
only,
branch
yeah,
of the corporate offering
yes.
only in the States. This is
Yes,
the
we are
it's very
only focusing
important.
on in the States, and we are experienced and we are specialized in the US market. So we do not offer any other options in any place in the
Right,
world.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna be the client right now. I mean, I
Okay.
chose the property, which is like let's say $150,000, $200,000. I
Sure.
mean,
Can we just also show the property
right,
life cycle?
sure.
So in order to understand it
So
better. This
I
can
chose
be found on our website, by the way.
all websites. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you start the journey with sales pipeline. Sales pipeline is where you decide what property that you are going to buy. After
Mm-hmm.
you decide your property, it passes to the next pipeline, which is title. Title pipeline is where your deed is secured and handled by title company, licensed title company in the
Mm-hmm.
US. Uh, we work like with different title companies, but the title pipeline means that after you decide your property, all title work being handled by third party,
Right.
licensed title company. So at this step, you receive like full ownership and with secure deed. Also, it comes with a clear title and with insurance, title insurance. So there is no hassle to
And
being in
all of
the
that
US
can be done online.
remotely. Yes, absolutely.
Good.
And just to mention that even the US citizens, they do, like there is no difference. You will have to use a title company, and in that way, so you know that your
Mm-hmm.
paperwork and everything is went smooth, and until you receive the title sheet.
Right, same process for all citizens. Okay, there is a
Correct.
question here that some clients are asking about like, do I need to establish a company on my name to own this property? Is it necessarily, do I need to do it or no need for it? What's the advice in this?
Well, it's suggested. It's not an obligation. You don't have to, but especially for if this is an investment property, we highly recommend you to establish a company, especially for foreign investors.
Right.
Why? Because there are many benefits. But of course, when it comes to that point, we mentioned the differences. But most of the
Mm-hmm.
citizens, even though they are buying for investment purposes, so they are establishing a company, they are buying under LLC for tax benefits, for
Right.
liability, benefits. So It's better to buy under an LLC, but it's not a must. So the client can decide whether they would like to proceed with LLC or individual. Both can be done. By the way, the title pipeline, there's one more very important information here. Your title companies also secures your monies because you don't have to pay to seller. You wire your funds to title company. It's called escrow account. So escrow account is technically just a temporary account until you receive the ownership.
Which is
So
a guaranteed one,
yes,
basically. No one
yes.
has access
So
other than the title company.
absolutely. So you wire to title company, they keep your funds, they handle the title work, you receive the deed with full ownership, then
Right.
they pay the seller. So during this transaction, if anything like occurs like unexpected, so you can always ask your money back, and there is no
Right.
problem.
Let me focus on this point because most of the clients, I mean, in all regions, basically, they are thinking that they need to, we are receiving the money from them. The process is like they send 15%, which is down payment. Then once the deed is a transfer, they send the 85% left. For some reason, they are mistaken or they are thinking wrongly that we will take the 15% and pay it on their behalf, that's not the case at all.
No, not really, because how it works, you should once you sign a contract that you to open a file to be able to open a file in a title company,
Right.
you should pay an earnest money deposit. It's called like EMD. You pay like a deposit, then the file can be opened and title company start the title procedure. So we are not accepting any type of payment, direct payment.
Right.
It should be done by title company, and most of the buyers, they know what title companies are, and we recommend them to make their own due diligence prior to buying process. Because in the US, it's very simple. You can even choose your own title company, but we are specialized at like in our markets, we work with most experienced, because also when you're a foreign buyer, you should deal with some differences between selling and buying as a foreigner. So we recommend them some title companies, and they can wire to title companies. And
Understood.
it's quite
Understood.
simple.
Okay. How about the bank account? Do we help I mean, we said that we help them in the company. If they start to establish a company, the LLC, we will also, it's part of our services. How about the bank account? Do we provide it for the clients in the
We
States?
direct them. We direct them. I mean, we cannot open on their behalf, of course, but there are different options opening a bank account. Like there are some banks in the US you can open remotely without going to the US, but it's not
Correct.
individual. It should be LLC account. So you should be
Okay, company one.
yeah. So you can't open like individual account. If you have a company, there are some banks that they are offering opening account remotely. So yeah, we help, but we don't open on their behalf. It's not guaranteed. Whenever they travel to the US, they can open with any bank on their name and LLC name.
Okay. Let me also mention something very important that most of the clients are asking. The United States does not provide something called visa for real estate or for any of that. I mean, what you are purchasing is a pure investment, has nothing to do with a visa, correct?
Yes, it's. I mean, in the US, anybody can buy a property, but it's not related to any visa or any green card. So there are ways to obtain like some visa types through real estate. We are going to also talk about it
The
today. But
E2
yeah,
investor.
E2 investor visa. But simply, if you are buying a property, you only have the ownership, but it's not guaranteed that you are going to receive a visa, or it
Yeah,
has
yeah. I
no
mean,
nothing.
let me say it. I mean, like, because most of the clients, I mean, how to use the word wisely here. I mean, they are corrupted by the Middle East. Like some of the countries, like each country, like either offering a visa or offering citizenship, or those countries in Malta or in Europe. This is a pure investment package.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with the visa. It has nothing to do with anything. I mean, the visa process is just you get your appointment, you go to the consulate. If you have good documents, the visa decider will give it to you. If not, it will not give it to you.
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct. But comparing to other countries, United States also offers visa programs through
Right.
investment. So
Mhm.
you have to focus on and follow those programs, which we also help on those programs. One of them is E2 visa, but buying a simple property is not going to
Correct.
have
Correct.
anything to do with visa type.
Okay. Let's go back to track now. I mean, we reached a point, the client deposit.
Receive ownership.
Yeah. Now the full deed on the client's name.
Mhm.
So what's gonna happen next?
Well, once they receive the ownership, simply they can go to check through like a city website. It's all transferred in the US. You can see
Mm-hmm.
your deed is recorded under you, but that takes time. That you don't have to see your name immediately because uh, recording takes time in the state and the city. But once you have the deed, if your property needs construction, because we are selling two different types of product. Once you buy a property that needs rehab or turnover, it
Mm-hmm.
passes the construction pipeline where your property is, the construction start, turnover starts, and our team makes it ready for the rent, to rent it,
Right.
receiving rental income. But other properties are done and rented. You don't have to worry because it passed direct to PM pipeline, which is the next step.
Mm-hmm.
But if you purchase a property that needs turnover or rehab, in this pipeline, you will have to wait until it gets ready, depending on
It
the
varies
property.
between a property and
We
another.
already mentioned the timeline, like prior you purchasing it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
after that, we pass to property management pipeline,
Right,
which means
right. I mean,
property
I
is
mean,
ready.
we
Ready.
offering both offers. We have like the non done and rented that you
Yes.
already you purchase, you get your rent by
Instant
you have it.
income. Yeah. If you,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you have the other ones that needs rehab, which is like
Mhm.
some renovation until it's ready.
Depends on the property, really.
Yeah,
Like some of them, they need light maintenance, and some of them needs like full rehab. So
right, right.
I mean, it has like plus every product has its own benefits because once you buy like a property that needs rehab, which means that at the end of the rehab you will have a brand new property, everything will be renewed.
Mm-hmm,
Some
mm-hmm.
properties needs like like minor rehab, so depends on the property
Right.
really.
Okay, so now we reached the point. They have the deed already. The deed is on their name. What's
Mhm.
next?
Well, if the property doesn't need construction or needs construction, after it's done, it passes the property management pipeline. So at that time, your property being rented
Mm-hmm.
and all necessary licenses being applied, like from the city and the state, because in the U.S., like you need to get a rental license to rent it legally. So
Correct.
property manager, our property management team hands over all these things on your behalf, and you sign a contract with property manager. Then once your property is rented, you will pass to the most important pipeline, which is AC, affidavit of completion
All
pipeline.
right. All right.
At
Okay.
that point, do you have any question here? Like
No,
with
no, no, no,
any
I'm good. I'm
question?
good. Please
Yeah,
continue.
the AC pipeline is simply your property is ready to perform as we agreed. So
Mm-hmm.
your licenses are up and your property is rented. You have lease agreement and recorded. So you don't have to worry about anything. Like as we agreed, we hand over you to your property and your also some warranties we offer that it's being activated at this point, and you will receive a welcome letter as well as you will receive a software application request, like you will download and login details. You just have to log in and then you will start seeing what's going on your property, you can simply start screening on your property.
Okay. We're gonna go in depth with Peter
Yeah.
in those details. All right. So we're talking about it in general. I think like we covered everything regarding the property life cycle. I won't just like
Last step is the refinance
refinance.
pipeline. Refinance pipeline is your property after the AC pipeline. Most of our properties are being eligible for refinance, which is really big plus comparing to other companies, because once you have a performing property, you can refinance your property and buy another property. So at that point, we offer our refinance department reach out to our clients and giving more details. If our buyers would like to apply for a loan, which is mortgage, at that time they can grow their portfolio.
Right.
Simply
And
long-term loan.
And this like happens for a loan. I mean, like, this is the question that most of the clients like they ask us like, okay, like I bought my property and now I own this property and the rent is going. What's gonna happen after a year? What I mean, like if you are not there, how I'm gonna handle it? So like I want to emphasize on this point that we are looking for the long term, which is the 30 years with this loan, and to make you like a homeowner in the States, but not with a property, only one. To go like each property will fund the other property, and we go eventually that you have your portfolio of investments in this, right?
Correct.